All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're cutting right through the sci-fi hype to unpack the actual reality of AI in the workplace. We're basing this whole analysis directly on recent global standards. We're talking frameworks from NIST and the ISO, along with some really cutting-edge organizational resilience research. We're going to see exactly why adopting artificial intelligence is, well, it's way more complex than just flipping a switch. And spoiler alert, the real secret to success, it actually relies entirely on the human element.
Listen to this quote: artificial intelligence is no longer simply a future technology discussion. I mean, that hits the nail on the head, right? It is happening right now, and it's an urgent organizational transformation issue. If your organization is still treating AI as some distant, futuristic concept, you are already falling behind. It's here, the adoption curve is incredibly steep, and honestly, it demands our immediate strategic attention.
Okay, let's dive into this. To systematically navigate this massive shift, we're breaking it down into 6 strategic pillars: the organizational AI challenge, the technology trap, governance and accountability, leading the AI transition, the evolving human workforce, and finally, building resilient organizations.
Starting with pillar number 1, the organizational AI challenge. This is all about the massive foundational shift it requires.
Consider the sheer scale of AI's reach across your different departments. It influences operations, decision-making, security, customer services, analysis, automation, and strategic planning. We're talking about fundamentally altering daily workflows and totally overhauling long-term strategies. Imagine supply chains that can literally predict global bottlenecks before they happen, or customer support analyzing millions of interactions in an instant. This isn't just a simple software update. It's an unprecedented opportunity to process vast amounts of data. It is an absolute game changer for your competitiveness.
Moving on to pillar 2, the technology trap. Here's why we need to look far beyond just the tech itself. And this brilliantly illustrates the core friction here. On the left, you've got the myth, this perceived AI adoption, where people think it's basically just acquiring shiny new tools for efficiency and data processing. But buying the software, that's the easy part. The actual organizational challenge, that messy reality on the right, is entirely human. It's about managing entrenched workflows, addressing glaring skills gaps, and honestly, overcoming a lot of very real human resistance to change. If you only focus on buying the tech, the human friction is going to completely derail your progress.
So this is where organizational readiness comes in. Research consistently shows that up to 70% of complex digital transformations fail. 70%. And they don't fail because the code is bad. They fail because of human factors. Organizational readiness is the absolute critical necessity to resolve those skills gaps, establish clear governance, and align realistic expectations before you deploy the tech. Without this groundwork, tossing AI at a complex problem, it doesn't improve operations. It literally just creates widespread, highly expensive confusion.
Which brings us to pillar 3, governance and accountability. Because as we'll see, accountability absolutely matters.
Consider this for a second. AI systems might support operations. They might generate complex financial reports or suggest massive resource allocations. But who remains accountable for the outcomes? The machine can't go to jail, right? The machine isn't going to sit down and apologize to your biggest client. We have to trigger a complete mindset shift away from just blindly accepting system outputs to aggressively enforcing human responsibility for whatever the AI actually produces. You've really got to look at these critical governance issues: privacy, bias, cybersecurity, ethics, automation risk, and regulatory compliance. Global standards bodies like NIST and the ISO, they heavily emphasize that you absolutely must have human oversight to manage these risks. Think of governance as, well, basically essential adult supervision for your algorithms, because you simply cannot outsource your regulatory compliance to a piece of code.
Next up is pillar 4, leading the AI transition. This presents a really unique leadership challenge. Transformation is a leadership challenge requiring clear communication, workforce engagement, and realistic expectations. See, a governance framework is really only as good as the leaders enforcing it. You have to actively engage your workforce. Like, if an employee is quietly terrified that an AI tool is going to steal their job, just handing them a software manual isn't going to cut it. Leaders need to communicate exactly why AI is being adopted, where it actually adds value to their specific daily grind, and how their roles are going to evolve.
That leads us perfectly into pillar 5, the evolving human workforce. Let's look at how we adapt our capabilities. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast. Look at the tasks becoming automated: repetitive administrative tasks, large-scale data processing, standard report generation. But as machines take over that routine heavy lifting, look at the valuable human capabilities on the other side. Critical thinking, complex problem solving, adaptability to totally new situations, and ethical judgment and communication. Our highest level human cognitive skills are actually becoming our most valuable assets. Preparing people to leverage these distinctly human skills alongside AI, that is the real secret sauce.
And finally, Pillar 6, building resilient organizations. This is how we ensure robust operations.
We have to stay grounded here and prepare for some very real organizational risks. Systems are going to fail, you'll have downtime, and the AI will inevitably give incorrect outputs, or what we call hallucinations. Think of an AI hallucination like a highly confident but completely clueless intern giving you a brilliantly articulated wrong answer. You've also got evolving cyber risks, misinformation propagation, and the biggest danger of all, over-reliance on automation. Blindly trusting a machine without actively questioning its outputs is just a fast track to disaster. Resilience is your ultimate safety net.
So let's move to and see how this builds into 4 sequential steps to resilience. 1. Technology deployment. 2. Strict governance. 3. Active human oversight. And 4. Continuous adaptability. You deploy the tech, sure, but you immediately wrap it in strict governance. You mandate active human oversight to constantly check the work. And you foster that continuous adaptability across your whole team. It's combining these exact 4 steps that actually creates lasting operational strength.
If you take away just one single thing from this explainer today, let it be this. The most prepared organizations combine human capability with intelligent systems. The goal is not to replace people with AI. The ultimate competitive advantage isn't about having the deepest pockets or the flashiest tech. It's about achieving an incredible human-machine synergy. It's amplifying brilliant human capability with highly intelligent tools. So I want to leave you with a final, provocative question to think about for your own workplace. Is your organization simply buying AI, or are you actually building the human resilience to master it? Take a really hard look at your strategy today and ask yourself if you're truly preparing your people for what's next. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.